Welcome back to the Garden Hutch, guys. Week 19 is going to be amazing. We have a lot of things to show you of what we've accomplished in the last week, and we would like to show you our herb garden this time. Let's take a quick look at what we've got going on. So the herb garden is my happy place. I come out and spend a few minutes a day just weeding, taking a look at things, making sure that this thing is amazing. And there's so many things in here that are growing that I want to share with you all, especially for what we have available for cooking and the new things that we actually put in here this year. So let's take a quick look and see what we've got growing on. So a lot of the things in this herb garden were picked up at our local Master Gardener's plant sale. Each year they come in and they do a sale where the local community gets together that have a lot of heirloom plants that they pull out of their yard, that they propagate, and the first weekend of May, that hits. So week 19, we got a chance to get out to our local Master Gardener's plant sale, and we picked up a lot of new things this year that I wanted to show and share with you. But many of the things in here, including our tarragon, our salvia, our echinacea, a lot of this prairie grass that you see growing up that flowers in late summer, a lot of these things were picked up at that sale. And of course, we get to support our local community, so it kind of helps out. But let's take a quick look and break things down so you have an idea of what all we have growing in here. So one of the things I wanted to share with you is our lavender. We picked up 2 new lavender plants from our Master Gardener's plant sale. I do have 2 established plants that Jeremy picked up for me as a surprise. I actually harvested a little bit from those yesterday. But these guys are doing great. I put them in because I was like, well, I have 2 on the other side of the gate. Let's add 2 more. So I'm hoping these grow as awesome as the other 2. Next to that, we got some sedum. I looked into this and it's called an autumn joy. This thing is going to bloom in autumn, like in August, all the way into October. And I'm really excited to see what this does. It's kind of like a succulent, but not. It really likes full sun. I did look it up and they're gonna have big, beautiful red balls of flowers all over this once it gets big enough. So I'm hoping it adds some amazing color, especially in the fall when things start slowing down as far as flowers goes. That way I can share with you a little bit of color in the fall. And then over here next to that is our sage. Now this sage, this is its 3rd year, I do believe. We picked up 2 plants at your local ranch store. I was just needing some sage to throw in here. And I did have to cut a lot of it back in the fall last year, but it's bounced back. I did have to come in and clear out some space with the oregano sitting next to it. That oregano is massive, y'all. This started from one little propagated sprig that I had for my original plant, and it's just taken off. It's taken up its whole space, and it's crowding everybody out. So I did harvest a lot of it yesterday. If you follow us on Facebook at the Garden Hutch, I did include a picture of our harvest from this that I did pull yesterday. We got 5 bundles just from that front space that I had to trim back. 5 whole bundles. Shared some with the neighbors. I got some others drying that I plan on giving out and sharing with folks. But that oregano is amazing. It's going to go to flower soon, so I've got to trim this bad boy back a little bit more. But since I took that out, the sage is a lot happier. And I love sage. We eat it with our pork. We put it in our breads, our soups. It's so fragrant and it's amazing. This little space was used for some flowers when I first put it in here. You can tell there's not a lot growing in here. It's hard to keep watered. It dries out fairly quickly. So I turned it into a fairy garden. There's a lot of little fairy things in here. But this right here is some Sweet William that popped up that was reseeded from the year before. I transplanted it into here to see how well it would do, and look, It is blooming. It's so pretty and it's so fragrant. Goes really well in bouquets. But I also included one of our chamomile that we started from seed. I'm really excited about the chamomile, y'all. Well, I've got this everywhere, so I'm anxious to see what it does. We'll harvest it, put it in some sleepy time teas, see how well it does. And then, of course, you've got some weeds coming up. That's some kind of clover or shamrock, I guess you would say. But it gets little yellow flowers, so I just kind of left it. It's miniature like my fairy garden. Another new thing we purchased at the Master Gardener's plant sale during the week 19 was some tarragon. This is one herb we didn't have in here. We use it a lot, again, with our porks, any shrimp. It goes good with chicken. So I wanted to add some tarragon in here just so we have a variety of herbs to use when we're cooking. And it's doing fantastic. This also was started locally from one of our community members. So it's beautiful. They did a fantastic job getting this thing to start. And then if you come over here, we actually, and you can see I've got a lot of decoration in here. It's cute, it's whimsical, it's fun. Of course, this actually, the toads love this thing. They hide underneath it, they get in the water, they just love it. So I leave it. But this right here is our parsley. Last year we grew some parsley in here and it did amazing. So we wanted to try it again. So I went ahead and we started this parsley from seed this year. And it's doing really well so far. So hopefully later on we'll be able to show you the bulk of this guy because it does great in this terracotta pot. And then right over there in this pot, of course I need to take some leaves out. Here we go. Oh, that didn't work out. We'll get it later. But this is our time. This is the first year for it to bloom. It's doing great. It started from a little tiny plant that we purchased. Actually, no, we started this one from seed too. I'll tell you, majority of things were started from seed in this garden. But it's doing great, and we've already used a lot of it. It smells amazing. It's just beautiful. I love this. And then next to that is some echinacea that we purchased at our Master Gardener's plant sale last year. I wanted another coneflower plant somewhere else, and something that was going to be a perennial that come back every year. Where better to put this than my herb garden, because this mostly is a perennial garden. Everything's going to come back each year. And we have got a bloom opening. It looks kind of sad right now. This is kind of how it looks until it actually fully opens. But there's so many blooms on here. It's going to be amazing. I'm just excited to see what this guy does. Then next to that is that prairie grass I was talking about that we purchased last year as well at the Master Gardener's plant sale. This stuff is called a stargazer blue, or blue stargazer. Maybe I got it backwards. But it's pretty, and it doesn't get any taller than this. The one next to it is going to get really tall, and it's another type of prairie grass that gets a lot of pink flowers, like a long stalk of pink flowers, and they're really fragrant, and the bees love these guys. But here lately, the bees have loved this guy. This has been our friend lately for the bees. As we're drawing up to a close, this is the final thing I kind of wanted to discuss was my salvia. We got 2 of these. One did not make it. That was about 2.5 years ago from the Master Gardener's plant sale. This is a purple salvia. It is a great pollinating plant for all of your honeybees. Even the carpenter bees come in here. The bumblebees come in. We get a lot of butterflies on this. So I was devastated when I trimmed it back and it had some slow growth. And I was like, oh my. The roots were not doing good, but we've got new growth popping up, and that's from reseeding from last year. So I'm going to let it go, and we're going to see if it bounces back and enjoy it when it comes up. Well, thank you so much for taking a tour with me of the herb garden. I know there's not a lot in here yet, not a lot of color, but it's coming. So be patient. I have to as well. It's really difficult, but I do. But I just wanted to kind of give you a taste of what we've got cooking-wise in our herb garden and what we have to share. So I appreciate all of you. Again, if you follow us on Facebook, we do have our Facebook page. I post pictures of just random stuff that I see in the yard, including butterflies. I love photography, especially with nature. But when my flowers start blooming, you will all get a taste of that on our Facebook page. So we appreciate you. As always, it's been a delight having you along and joining us. We hope you stick with us and join us for our next video for updates that we've got going on each week. Check out our information on Facebook. Again, it's a great way to stay connected with us. You can ask questions. We love your feedback for sure. So again, like and subscribe. We really enjoy it, and we will see you later.